Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, where we have a very exciting episode ahead of us, folks, over at Elite Zoo North. So let's head over there without a moment's hesitation, because today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be adding a brand new animal, and I'm sure the title and or thumbnail, almost certainly both, have already given away what the animal is going to be. Again, y'all voted, y'all had your voice heard, and that's exactly what we are responding to. So as always, folks, make sure your voice is heard in one way or another, and if you can't tell what I'm leading up to, what I'm leading up to is, if you're enjoying this series and you want to see it continue, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know by leaving your likes and comments down below. As I say always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel. There's a lot of very exciting stuff coming up in the very near future, so it really helps me understand what people want to keep seeing. Older series. Like, this is a pretty old series, but it's great to see so many people still enjoying it. And that kind of decision making, it's a lot easier when I have your opinions expressed plainly, and likes and comments are the plainest ways to express those opinions. Though calling some of the comments plain, that sounds wrong, because it's always good to see your thoughts and feedback, and there's some really interesting insights as well in the comments always. I love reading through them, as I've always said as well. And actually, it was great to see in last session's comments, many of you, I would say most, if not all, are actually pro-management sessions. So that's great, because, yeah, management is a crucial part of this game, obviously. We are managing a zoo. It's not sandbox mode or anything. We do have to make sure our animals are happy and everything. So I'm glad to see many of you enjoyed that from last session, because it really helps, we don't have just a bunch of red notifications when we unpause. Hopefully it's not going to just bring everything crashing and burning. So it really helps having one of those management sessions every once in a while. Now, some of y'all were suggesting doing it once a week. I might do that. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary to do it that often, but it might not be a bad idea, actually. It might just kind of help alleviate the stress every once in a while. One thing I do want to do, though, before we dive into our time lapse, which we are going to be doing basically right away, is get you onto grade 3 food. I say one thing I want to do, and then I do a couple of things. Bear with me, folks. Sorry, I should transition through the bears, shouldn't I? If I'm going to say bear with me. There we go, perfect bear butt. I want to do that, and I wanted to get down over here and you rattlesnake. So apart from these things, there are a few other pieces of management to do. Some things that y'all noticed that I need to, hold on a second, this is my storage. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of all this, please and thank you. What was my train of thought? Right, there are a couple things that y'all pointed out that need to be done, some things that need to be fixed up, and some older issues as well that we need to solve, that we'll hopefully get to solve today. But I do really want to kick us off with our time lapse, because it's nice to have that. In these episodes, what I like to try and do is really only males available? You're kidding me. I need a female. How is it only males available? How is it possible that last session when I was checking and this session when I'm checking, it's only males available? Anyway, it is what it is. We'll come back later. What I was getting at is I like to try, at least, to kick off the new animal episodes with a time lapse, because that way, when we're doing all the management afterwards, we're able to, put the animal in quarantine, get the animal in, and do all that as well. So that's my plan today, unlike what we did with the macaque, where that time lapse ended up being later, didn't it? Oh, wow. Everything's just a blur. So much has been going on these last handful of sessions. We've been adding so much and making so much progress. It's wild. Anyway, folks, enough of me blabbing. Let's get to work, shall we? It is very early in this episode. Time-lapse time. All right, folks. This is a very interesting time-lapse, and I mean that in, like, every definition of the word. The winner, by a massive margin, was the Siberian Tiger. And so we're going to be doing the Siberian Tiger today, and as I dive into it, I just want to mention there was a very interesting point raised many episodes ago now with regards to how I should maybe approach the Siberian Tiger enclosure, where I should get my inspiration from, and I learned something that I didn't know before, and as y'all are probably very familiar with by now, or y'all are probably very familiar with this fact by now, but I like learning stuff. It's kind of it's a big driving force for me all the time. And lo and behold, what I learned is that apparently the tiger, and I suppose specifically the Siberian tiger, is a very essential part of a lot of Korean folklore. The creation myth, as well as just overall symbolism in the culture throughout history. The tiger actually features quite heavily, and I've still been doing a lot of reading and stuff on it. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to read up as much as I usually like to read up on before I go on a time lapse, so that I can go on those tangents and talk about what I've learned. But it was pretty interesting to hear, or rather to see that connection, because I've never known about the connection. When you hear Siberia, one thing comes very clearly to mind, and as we'll find out later as well, when we go to actually get some of the tigers in, the game sticks to that preconceived notion, perhaps a fair preconceived notion of, it's a Russian animal. However, we do not go the Russian way. Obviously, I wouldn't have mentioned the Korean inspiration if that wasn't what we were drawing from. Now, here's something I'm going to be very forthright about. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of visual research in terms of how it should look and how the pieces should come together. However, despite all of my research, I wouldn't be surprised if I make some mistakes. Now, I apologize for any errors that I make in representing the culture appropriately. Feel free to correct any mistakes I make. And the reason why I bring it up specifically here is because as I was flipping through, various images and trying to understand what the structures are or were, or, what have you, the thing I noticed was that it is all very similar in many ways to maybe an uninformed eye. It's very similar in many ways to a lot of Japanese architecture, and I'm sure, by extension, a lot of Chinese architecture as well. Obviously, again, cultural exchange through history is a major part of what influences what things look like. So a lot of the time, the decisions I make with what you're going to see with today's time-lapse are based on my, again, personal experiences of going through certain shrines or visiting certain places that have similar architecture, and my hope is that I'm able to adapt from what I've seen, my own self with my own two eyes, to what I'm seeing now, on a flat screen when I'm Googling these things and I'm looking for references. There's a difference between actually having walked through a space and then trying to understand that space through an image on the internet, right? So hopefully I haven't cacked it up. Hopefully I'm pretty accurate to the nuanced differences. But if I'm not, obviously feel free to point it out and I'll see what I can do to fix it. So for example, one thing I saw often was this kind of a gateway entrance. Now another thing is I might actually be mixing up certain structures from different faiths. Again, this is one of those parts of the world where there's a lot of interspersed religion. There's like Shinto and Buddhism and whatnot. So the shrine types are different. I was trying to be extremely careful here because, as y'all I'm sure know by now, it matters a lot to me. So I try to do my best. Hopefully I've done a decent job. But anyway, I want to talk actually about the enclosure a fair bit as well. Because as I do all the construction work with pieces that we're now all too familiar with, having done a lot of time with the Asian sections, I want to actually touch on my thinking for the enclosure, because I really like the interactive element of it. I really like how the animal-human interaction is supposed to take place. I also really like how this opening stairway looks. With that said, I want to kind of touch on my plans here. So the idea is that this little structure I'm building over here, I'll actually mimic it over on the other side as well. And the idea is that these structures are little hard shelter areas for various uses for the animals. So the animals will be able to come out all the way to here for either eating or drinking or sleeping, what have you. And I want it to be that, as people are walking up the steps, they're able to get that close to the tiger. I think it'd be a really, again, intimate experience. I think visually as well, it looks really neat. I like the little color as well. The blue, I noticed that some of the, at least some of the shrines I was looking at, they had that little blue trim going on. And I was like, that's a nice way to separate it from the, red that we're seeing everywhere else throughout the Asia section. So again, hopefully that's, true to its origins, I guess, is the way to put it. And I think you can see that pause was me looking up some references and second-guessing every decision I've made in my life that has led me up to this point. But that aside, I decided to move forward. So yeah, you can see again, it's mirrored on both sides. So one side I'll have like maybe food, the other side I'll have maybe bedding, whatever it might be. And then now it's time to build a central structure. And I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I don't know why I keep challenging myself to take on the architectural elements in this game when I know that they don't cooperate with me. But hey, let's have some fun, right? So again, using my, Google expertise, if you will, just going through a bunch of reference images, but also going through my own, memory bank and just trying to remember what it was like being at some of these buildings. Again, it was many years ago that I was in Japan, and again, it's the wrong country, right? Like, let's not forget that. But it feels like there are some references to be pulled. We are going to build this little, I guess, shrine space where we have these walkways on either side. Now, as far as the game is concerned, guests can walk over this entire grid area because it's all pathing. But what we want to imply through the architecture is that guests are supposed to walk along the outer rim and that central path, and then the rest of it is kind of like something else. I might put down some like bushes or something over there. I don't know just quite yet. Ultimately, I do want guests to be able to walk around that entire central area because it is the tigers that are going to be able to walk on the outer ring. I really hope I'm making sense. I feel like I'm like all over the place with this narration right now. But it'll definitely make sense as pieces start to come together. But basically, my hope is that the tigers will be able to walk around the outer perimeter here, and they'll have access to the two structures that you can see at the bottom, so they can, roam around, run around, and then the guests will be in the central portion of the structure, and they'll be able to look at the animal basically with a 360 surround of the animal if they're, roaming around. And then as they're coming up the stairs as well, they'll be able to get pretty close to the animal too. So again, a pretty intimate experience. And something we can do is we can also put vendor stalls and stuff in the center if we want to. In fact, I might do that. It kind of ruins the quote-unquote sanctity of the space, I think. Something to think about. The other option is to put the vendors outside this area at the base of the steps, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm more likely to do that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of architectural work now as we try to, again, make this all feel like it's an actual building. Lots of floating pieces that I don't like. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, folks, as I do this. Some of you might already be seeing a problem here. There's a problem that we're actually not going to be solving in today's session because it's too big of a problem. We start solving the problem, but it's going to take a bit more time than that. You see, the little red pillars that you're seeing, they are climbable. And tigers, while they don't require climbing space, they can climb. The red wood structures that I'm using to seal off the tops, they're also climbable. And add to that equation the fact that the game allows animals to clip through barriers. In other words, physics doesn't quite matter if the animal is able to climb onto something, which I think is just a problem. That's a different kind of problem, but I understand why. It's a limitation that probably the developers didn't even realize would become a problem because they didn't realize people were going to be trying this kind of stuff. Perfectly fair. No judgment there or anything. It's 100% fair. But it's an unfortunate thing that results in an unfortunate side effect, and that side effect, folks, is sorry, this music is great. Completely caught me off guard. The unfortunate side effect, folks, is that the tigers, as we will find out when we unpause and get the animals in, are able to escape. And we will start to solve that problem this session. Like I said earlier, we do begin the solution process, but it takes a little bit of work, and it changes the aesthetic a little bit. The time lapse has a little bit more work to it, but I do call it earlier than I otherwise would have because, when you have a gut feeling that things might not work out exactly how you had in mind, I start having that gut feeling around this. Right around here, I kind of start to go, you know, I'm not sure how the animals are going to interact with the space, and I really should check. Boy, am I glad. Am I glad that I had that gut feeling, because I was going to go all out, and then I realized, no, we should just check to make sure. Because again, you know, as always, we're trying to just push the not just the building pieces, but also the flow of traffic, animal and human. And here again, right, we're building this like concave like experience where the animal surrounds you and can get really close to you, and it's also a climbing. It's not like the camels, you know, who we know can't climb, though that would be a hilarious sight. So this was a bit of a challenging structure to build, but that's part of the fun, I guess. I hope y'all enjoy it, and I hope y'all like this as well as an idea. I think maybe some of you were expecting a bit more of a Russian output, and I apologize if that's the case. The reality is, though, there aren't really those kinds of building pieces available, and I'm sure something is possible. I could use the Arctic pieces to make like a rustic Russian camp sort of a thing, but I thought this was a very clever, you know, unexpected approach. And like I said at the beginning of this time lapse, right, like I like learning new things. It's a great way to immediately grab my attention, and the comments that mentioned the Korean connection definitely grabbed my attention. And this creates a nice transition from, like, you know, the Arctic space over to the East Asia space. From a walking perspective, you've got the train that takes you to the Great Wall, and you've got the walk that takes you through this transitional, you know, Arctic to Asia, geographically speaking, area. Anyway, one thing I didn't touch on, folks, is that apart from this hard cover, hard shelter structure, I also want to have a giant garden space in the back where the animals can run around and frolic and play. And you'll see me sort of start to build that out right now. Is like I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want it to be. I don't know if I want it to have like a pond. Again, I need to do a bit more research here and really familiarize myself with what makes most sense. But you'll see I also build some walls down. There's a fair bit of work left to do. I wish I had more time in today's session, but I want to make sure I'm able to upload this you know, on time. So I do have to call it a time lapse in a moment's time. I'll say this. How many more times can I say time in a brief span of time? But you can see I am laying out some of the you know, foundation elements of this temple that is, you know, maybe on a mountainside or a hillside or what have you. Nonetheless, there is work to be done still, but like I said, we have to call it a time lapse soon, in just a moment, because I didn't know how the animals were going to interact and how they were going to be able to traverse. But look how snugly that fit. I'm actually really happy with how efficiently I'm able to put down the barriers for once. But folks, that's all besides the point. This is the time lapse. I hope you like the structure. I hope you like the idea behind it. I hope I've done it justice. And hopefully after the next session, we'll have something that the tigers actually can't escape from, because I mean, oh man, a part of me wishes I didn't mention they're able to escape, because it's it's funny, but at the same time, I just wanted to be transparent about it right from the get-go, that there are issues with this build. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and explore those issues, folks, in real time. This is the time lapse as we put down some toys and stuff. Let's go back into regular speed. Let's do it. Oh no, still have to adjust a couple things, but back to regular speed. Here we go. All right, folks, we are back from that time lapse, and boy, oh boy, can you guess if it was A, shorter than expected, B, as long as expected, or C, longer than expected? If you guessed C, longer than expected, then you're correct. Is that even what option C was? I don't even remember what I just said, because I'm so absolutely just murdered by that time lapse. This was a bit of an effort to build out. I mean, hopefully it's done a good job of representing what I was going for. The back end over here, I'll be honest, not happy with it. Needs a bit of work, needs a lot of work actually. But I wanted to get the animals in. I wanted to see how they would interact with the space before I did too much work back over here. And I don't know how much further I want to expand it. Obviously, we don't want to give the animals too much room to play where they'll never, like the guests will never be able to see them, but I might want something more than this. Definitely want a more natural kind of transition as well up over here, I think. So there's work to be done yet, but I think I'll do that during the beauty pass rather than right now, because again, I want to see how the animals interact with the space, how they behave in the space, and then we'll adjust accordingly. But the hope is that the animals will be able to come right up to here to like eat over to here to sleep. So as you're coming up, you'll actually immediately be surrounded by these tigers, and hopefully those fences will hold them back. That's another thing we have to check. They'll hopefully be prowling up and down the sides over here to get a drink of water. I might add another water pipe on this side as well. And you can see there's some little things that need adjusting, like the terrain wasn't entirely, you know, cooperating and stuff at the end there. So there's a couple of things that need to change around the whole thing. But again, like I said, I'll probably leave that for next session when we're doing a bit of a beauty pass. And we also have this scratching post over here. I think it'd be a really cool spot for a scratching post, but at the same time, I fear that it might allow tigers to escape from over here. So we're gonna have to really see how this works out, and if it works out, rather. I might just, like, you know, push it back a little bit. I liked that it was pretending or acting like a little support structure up there, but, you know, we might not be able to have that. And then from up over here, yeah, you can kind of see if the animal is, you know, playing on this little post over there or hitting up that pinata. We might want to adjust the terrain here a little bit as well. We might also just end up making it a lot flatter with steps up. And I might even put water down. Like, there's, I don't know, I have a variety of ideas as to what I might want to do down here. And as always, I welcome your suggestions and thoughts as well. The other idea was that this would be a full-on garden with, you know, decorative elements and whatnot, but like decorative, like plants laid out in a decorative fashion and things like that. So lots of potential ways to execute it. I just have to settle on something, basically. But let's go ahead and get those animals coming through. Where is our closest? Okay, they're all over here. I was gonna say, where are, like, our closest staff facilities? They're all over here. They have to go kind of around this way. I could put a path that connects up this way, makes it a lot faster to get up there. So why not? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just clear out some of these trees that are in the way. They'll go underneath the train. I think it's a good idea. It just makes it a bit more efficient for our staff, and there's no reason not to. It's not like we're, you know, hurting for money or anything like that. No real reason to keep things inconvenient for our staff. Sure, let's do that, and let's get our path, our staff path, right around here. Right, we got to clear out some of these trees still. Turn off the angle snap, because what we can do is we can make it nice and curvy. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Pull you over and around and up this way and up this way. So they come up this way, loop over this way, go up that way. I can even connect this like so. And we might make, you know, we might do a little bit of pretty decorative stuff over here as well. All right, let's go ahead and adjust some of these trees, though. I gotta make sure they don't just block the paths, because that's always silly looking. And down over here, there were a couple of trees, right? Move these aside. Good stuff. It is really wild to come back to some of these parts, because this has been around for a while. Do you remember when everything here was barren? I mean, wow, that was a while ago. It's so wild being back here. I mean, geez, this is an interesting addition. I'm gonna have to add more trees all around it. Like, what I'm thinking is, like, right now, again, I overall like its idea, but I think the execution, there's a lot of work to be done in the surrounding area, especially, like, just to make it feel more like a, I guess secluded is the right word, type of shrine experience. Again, this is, it's so heavily based on my minimal knowledge of a bunch of shared cultural elements. So, I mean, I hope I'm not getting things horribly wrong. I always try to be very careful of that, but I hope I've done it all justice. And again, if I've done it wrong, then y'all gotta let me know. But my intent is, yeah, to make this area feel supernatural, not supernatural, but, you know, extremely natural. Supernatural is the opposite of what I'm going for here. But if we get some more trees down over here, I feel like you'll feel as though you're, you know, in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, at a shrine or temple type region, with these beautiful tigers. Yeah, see, like when we get down low right now, yeah, that's a lot more what I was kind of hoping for and going for. So you come through this way and you just feel a little isolated. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I was hoping for. Cool. So I'm definitely liking the direction this is going, and I think, again, like I said, once we get the animals in and we see how they interact with the space, I might give them a lot more. Whoops. I might give them a lot more trees and stuff to play with. I might make their wall back here transition into a natural space in a more natural manner as well. But let's just go ahead and add a couple more trees here and there, just to cap it off. Why not? Why not? I'm on a roll here. I'm on a roll. I hope y'all like this this one. This one was a bit of a challenge in many ways. Building the idea out, trying to figure out exactly what I wanted it to look like, and then for some reason deciding to build another building. I need to stop making buildings. Oh my god, I need to stop making buildings. I don't know if you could see, like, partway through it, I was just getting frustrated at some of the stuff, but I'm really happy with a couple of the details. I don't know if I was able to point them out during the time lapse, but like, I'm really happy with some of the little tiny details and how they've come together. Even just the coloration over here, I feel like it works nicely. So overall, I am pleased. It was a struggle to get here, but it was hopefully a worthwhile struggle. Oh, damn, look at that. You know what? Totally worth it. Except for this asymmetry. Wish I hadn't noticed that. Just, oh dear. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm pretty happy with it though. And in fact, if we go even further back, oh yeah, all right, you know what? That's dope. That's super dope. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get these animals. Animal trading. We want to get ourselves one male, one female Siberian Tiger. And in fact, since we're open here already, do I need a male camel, or I forget, do I just need to get you off of contraceptives? I've got it in my notes as well. My notes say remove contraceptive for camels. All right, cool. Again, I look at your comments and I do make notes to ensure that I stay on top of things. So there we go. Welfare is down, but that's enrichment because I haven't unpaused yet since we loaded in. And apart from that, actually, before we go ahead and get this going, it's so wild to see this section done. Sorry, back over here, we got to get rid of some of the red pandas. I've got way too many. I got way too many red pandas. So Tangi and 5 are our OG red pandas. So Bolin and Din we can send away. And these two are elderly, but hopefully they have some like time left in them, right? Let's see. Let's see if we compare you to Tangi. Overall, decent results except for that fertility. Okay, that's inbreeding. Cool. So we know to go back to here and get Bolin and Din into the trade center. Cool. And hopefully we'll get a couple more babies out of them before they pass away. All right. One more thing to note before I get those animals, by the way, is we need a name for this, obviously. Now, I don't know if I want to desecrate, this structure over here and put the name on top of this. I'll probably put the name up over here, but some name that ties into, again, either the stories or the aesthetic or whatever it might be. Puns are, of course, always welcome, but give me your name suggestions, and I'll need to get some, like, food stalls and washrooms and stuff down over here as well, I think, around this base area. So we'll maybe be looking for names for those as well shortly. But for now, animal trading. Let's go ahead and get this party started. It's crazy to say that, 30 minutes into an episode. Siberian Tiger, where are you, buddy? Where are you? Siberian Tiger. Cool. Well, we definitely have super Russian names. Which we have very clearly stepped away from with our construction style. It was a suggestion. I like the suggestion. It was eye-opening for me. I learned something new, and so I gravitated towards it. That's how this cookie crumbled, and I hope y'all don't mind. Also, there aren't that many pieces that really allow you to make a super Russian-style thing, Let's adopt you. Those are great genes for our male. Birdie. And we've got up over here, Olga or Nadezhda. I think Olga is the way to go. I'm going to go ahead and say Olga is the way to go. I mean, Lydia here is a white Siberian tiger. Worse longevity, better immunity. Let's go with Olga. Oh, don't have enough storage space. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Okay, let's go ahead and... Wow, that's wild to think about. I can't believe we've come to this point. Well, next session is gonna have to be a trading session then. Come on, give me my Siberian. When the clicks don't click, I get ticked. Hey, it rhymes. That's how you know it's true. Oh my god, just click. No animals available. Hang on a second. Did I not just adopt a... Oh, could I not get birdie either? I just didn't notice the thing. Oh, wow. Okay. I need to be quick about this then. Animal storage. Get rid of our filter. Any species. Please and thank you. Who do I... What I'll... Game. Come on now. What I'll probably do is just bring someone back in. Because if I trade, I have to wait until someone actually buys them, right? Got some Guriel. No, I don't want to bring them back. I could bring back our Indian peafowl. Or we can release you to the wild, actually. God, just click. There we go. So painful. And back to animal trading. Let's go ahead and at least get... Where's Birdie? How do I still not have enough? Oh, okay, I see. Alright. 3 more animals need to go. Who shall go? Lesson learned, eh? Lesson learned about storing up animals. Why are you in here? Why are you in here? You're super young. That must have been a mistake. So if we could just move you. Okay. Over to the Red Keep. It's got to be just a baby, right? And we've got to get rid of another... Well, actually, I think if we unpause for a second here, some of these animals might clear out. At least one of the red pandas will. Have we... There we go. And... Oh, no, we... Now we have to get rid of even more animals. Alright, I'm thinking we maybe just release some of our pronghorn antelopes into the wild. Because they are relatively, in comparison, low-value animals. You should be picked up. Yeah, I guess we could get rid of this Symington. The game not letting me click right now is extremely frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. Here, let's release you to the wild. 1. I just don't get the point of limiting. I mean, fair. I've stockpiled way too many animals, and this is terrible. I shouldn't have done this. I should have seen this coming. We should release our bears, tapirs as well into the wild because they are an endangered animal. I should always release from the enclosure. I shouldn't be releasing them from our trade center. But once you pull them into the trade center, it's too late. Their value drops already. What's up with you? You are waiting to be moved? Or did I buy you and so I can't release you to the wild? I guess, okay, fair enough. Confirm that. 52. Chinese pangolin will keep. Maybe some of these tortoises, because we've got one with good stats. If I could, you know, click on them, then we could actually see them. Oh my god, come on, game. There we go. So let's go ahead. Margarita's stats are all right. We'll release you to the wild. There we go. And if we go ahead and get, what, 2 more animals? Back to animal trading. Come on now. This is my punishment for stockpiling animals. And have I learned my lesson? No, of course not. Because if I'd learned my lesson, then I'd be going in right now and doing all the trades right now. But, you know what? I really just want to get these tigers into my zoo. And again, I don't want to have to wait an hour. Why did I ever put you in the trade center? I should have released you to the wild for sure. Those are... I wouldn't pick this animal up. Albino or not, top genes being good or not, those are just not good. There's so many better options, always. Always be better options. All right, we're good. 1 more. 1 more. You're a lowish stat, Guriel. Let's go ahead and release you to the wild. Cool. Done. That's all we need. Next session, we like start with animal trading. Okay. Do we still have... No. God damn. Well, Olga's still there, so that's good. Move you to quarantine first. Come on. Come on. There we go. And then, who was the other one? It was Birdie was the name, right? Yeah, Birdie is gone, unless he's in the next page. Yeah, Birdie's gone. Alright, so we've got ourselves a female with Olga. Damn. Knew I was going to miss out on the opportunity. Stanislav is pretty good. Oleg, all those are good genes. Pretty cheap as well. Pretty cheap as well. I wouldn't mind having a white Siberian Tiger, but Oleg here. Good stats. Let's check the next page here real quick. Ilya. Come on. Also good stats. Again, that fertility, right? It can fluctuate pretty hard. This is not a bad mix overall. Alright, let's get Ilya, I think. Let me check one more time. Mikhail. No. Or Mikhail. Not 100% sure. Stanislav. I mean, I like that 100 and that 83, but yeah, let's check. Oh yeah, you know what? That's great. Stanislav it is. Where are you? 183. Yeah, this is the one. 1037. All right. Unpause. The animal actually has to move from my trade center to quarantine. Okay, get rid of the fail message. Are we able to pick you up now? I believe in you. I believe in you, game. Okay, let's give it a moment. And while we're waiting for it, let's go ahead and head up to the zoo. Head to the staff section. Animal escaped. Which one? Which one? I guess we'll put you into East Asia as well as Arctic. This is a blended blended enclosure, right? East Asia and then Arctic as well. There we go. Done here. What's going on? Right, right. This was pointed out in the comments as well, and it completely slipped my mind. What was the issue again? Right, they're able to just barely crawl out over here, right? Yeah. I think I got distracted by the sleeping monkey. Which, can you really blame me? I mean, it looks so cute. It looks so cute. Right, let's push you over as well. Right, there we go. How's our trade center looking? I can't believe there's 50 animals in our animal storage. Get 48 now. Cool. So, back to the animal market. Where are you, buddy? Stanislav, excellent. You're still there. I have my eyes on you. Alexander, are you better? Oh, yes, you are. Ooh, a lot more expensive as well, but is it? No, he's injured. Why would I do that? I like that it warns me. Stanislav, it is you that I choose, I think. Sergey? Oh, Sergey's good too. Oleg's also pretty good. These are all really good genes, I'm going to be honest, but no. Go ahead and get Stanislav. Feels mean abandoning him after, you know, picking him out. It's like going to an adoption center, picking out an animal, and being like, yeah, that's the one, and then you come back later because, you know, I don't know, you didn't have enough money on you, or you forgot a document or something, and you come back later, and then you're like, you know what? That animal recognizes me, and is super excited to see me, but I see a different animal I want now. It's just horrible. It's just rude. Feels rude, at least. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm often wrong. For example, I'm wrong to have 50 animals in my trading center. Okay, we're good here. Thea's about to mature. That'll need taken care of as well. We have an inspector, or inspector. Quarantine passed for Humpy here. Well, Humpy, it's time to get to business. If I say original habitat, where do you get taken? Nowhere, right? Okay. So let's move you to the Oasis outpost, please. Thank you. Olga's done. Stanislav will be done soon as well, hopefully. Go ahead and get Olga moving. Really curious about how well Habitat 29 is going to work. Low welfare. Why? Are you upset? Nutrition. Hydration. You haven't had any water? Okay. Let's move this in a more convenient spot as well. Off to the side here. Why not? Come on now. There. Hopefully they'll be fine. Hopefully they'll be fine. All right. Just a couple of red notifications. Not too bad. More vet research complete. Where? for the reindeer. One more step of reindeer done, or left to go rather. And then we also have to get some research happening for our Siberian Tigers and stuff. I'm hoping that now that the trains are cheaper, we're going to see more people on them. I mean, we're starting to see that already. One more thing that's been pointed out to me actually is that many people are saying, apparently, that they spotted some of the guests saying that our tickets are cheap. Like our entrance tickets are cheap. So I need to look into that as well. As the sun is setting, is our other tiger ready for deployment, if you will? Nope, seems not. Yeah, there's enough people coming through here. That's good. I was definitely happy to see that latest train load be a full load. Hopefully people are finally coming around these parts. Quarantine pass, right, leave. All right, cool. Move you over as well. Here we go. Now the question becomes, can you reach everywhere I need you to be able to reach? They're all happy overall. That's good. Terrain, lots of space. Okay, that's good. Enough room for baby Izzle. Too much soil. That's fine. We can fix that easily. Not enough coverage. Okay, that's also easily fixed. Very easily fixed. Okay, not enough coverage and too much soil. Let me actually check. Looks like you can get up here, so that's good. Good stuff, good stuff. I did see the escapes. I'll check in on that. Looks like they're climbers, actually. Climbing all this, apparently. And they are able to get out over here. Okay. So that needs to be sorted out. Because they can get into the central area, because they can climb these columns. Did not realize they'd be climbable. Okay, so that's a bit of a problem. Bit of a problem. The easy solution is to raise this a little bit so they can't get over it as easily. Right, that should block that off. Stack these fences. Let's actually do it like that. Looks a little bit nicer, I think. Drop you down a little bit. There we go. Oh man, look at this golden hour lighting right now. Okay, that tiger is where it shouldn't be. But doesn't that look amazing? I almost wonder if I should flip this and instead only allow guests to come up to here. So they won't see the animals when they're back over there. I don't know how I feel about that. But this looks really beautiful, doesn't it? It does look really beautiful. I could split it. I could go 50-50. Right now, guests are able to come up in here. I don't know how they'll react, but I suspect if they get too close to the tiger, they'll not be very happy. I suspect. He's still able to... Well, you're still able to get here from the other side, right? These fences aren't climbable, so at least there's that. Yeah, they just hop over without any care. Oof. Severely underestimated their ability to hop. It's okay. It's okay. Hopefully easily fixed. Okay. Seriously, though? Is this not beautiful? Oh, they're so floofy. Y'all were right in the comments. They are extra floofy. The clouds. Oh, this is beautiful. You know what? I might actually reconsider my entire setup here. Allow them to take over a part of this space. See, okay, let's see. How can I go about blocking this area? Blocked all these off, but can they still jump and get onto this? Oh, man. Because clearly they're still able to traverse. All right, let's go ahead and lift you up a little bit. Oops. No, I gotta go in here. This is what I get for trying to be, again, too clever, right? This is what I get. I mean, I like how it all looked. Hopefully our changes won't make it look hideous. Let's do that. Two levels has got to be enough on the fencing, right? 2 levels has got to be enough. Scoop you up. working in the moonlight here. It's a little dark. Let's turn the light on. Wow, that's bright. That's very bright. Well, initially, because the game does that thing where it's like when your eyes adjust when going from a dark place to a light place, because your pupils still like super open to let light in. And all of a sudden someone flashes a light in your eye and you're like, oh my god, I'm blind. The game does that. Okay. You can't possibly still hop in and out, can you? Oh, I guess this is a spot for that to happen. Please. Please be a solvable problem. I'm gonna go ahead and move you over to back here, because I need to check to make sure this works, right? Unpause, box you up and pull you back. Yeah, it looks like they're still very much able to come through. Oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. I mean, what do we want to do? We could raise this even higher, right? How high does it need to go? Because at one point, you're not really able to see the animal anymore. 3 is... I mean, if we go 4, then it's basically bottom to top, right? Let's see. Let's try 3. And now I'm starting to wonder if I actually want to go and change this around and allow the animal a lot more liberty of movement through the space. Be interesting, that's for sure. Yeah, let's lift this up as well. And this is why I want to get the animal in before I went any further, because there's, again, we're almost always we're experimenting with something or the other. In this case, it was this very intimate interaction between literal tigers and people. You know, see if it pays dividends. Literally and metaphorically. Okay, a little refresh over here. No, you're still able to come through. How are you getting through? Are they really able to jump that high? I guess if you climb this, you can't possibly... Oh. I guess it'll like clip through and go over. Is that what they're gonna do? And then they can end up here? Is that what the game's suggesting, maybe? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. I wonder how likely that actually is. I also wonder, again, if we shouldn't, again, invert this so that the guests can walk around these parts. But at the same time, we'll have to figure out a solution to make sure they don't get attacked by the tigers going outside from inside. Okay, we're going to go ahead and unpause. I want to see the actual behavior. Let's go ahead and get... I mean... There is something about seeing Olga here next to this little piece and whatnot, right? It is beautiful, but it's not exactly what we were hoping for. Move you out here. Let's see what they do. Let's see how they behave. And another reason why I want to be not paused for most of today's session is because I actually want to see if our new passage over here sees a lot of action. And it's seeing some already. This should help bring more people to... Oh, look at that, folks. Look at that. We're actually seeing people between the trains being used more, and yeah, you can see people being dropped off by the train right now. So between the trains being used more and this new passage that we've introduced, we're seeing some more action there already, which is very nice to see, honestly. Very nice to see. All right, what's up over here, though? Now, I haven't put down any of the education boards or anything either, because, again, I want to kind of, like, see where guests will congregate and how these tigers will move. Really hope the triple stack does the job, because any more than that and I'll feel like it was all pointless. Because this I can still get behind, like this kind of a view of the animals I can still get behind, but I mean, at this point, I guess we could go all the way. Might as well, if we have to. Hopefully we don't, though. What a beast. Tigers are my favorite. Oh god, this is, yeah, see, this is it. This is the problem. The game allows them to clip. Okay. That's a problem. It's so cute. I need to figure this out. Now, like, the easy solution, I guess, would be we could get rid of certain problematic sections. Like, this isn't connected, so that's helpful, I guess. This should be connected. I don't know how I left it not connected, but we'll deal with that later. Because the reality is now I have to rethink this a little bit. Now I have to rethink this. Damn. Where's our other tiger? Has he escaped? Where is our other tiger? Come here, buddy. That's the one we have selected. Hang on. Is that the answer to my question right now? Because it sounds like it is. Yep. Olga has escaped. Oh, this is not good. How are you gonna get back? This is your escape, right? And your entrance. Man, that's a bummer. Alright, well, looks like I'm gonna have to figure this out. Because this is a serious problem. How do we do this? You're just free to roam. Oh dear. No. Get back. Okay, hold on. Hang on. Okay. I guess I could get rid of these pillars and replace them with different pillars that aren't climbable. Because those do exist. Yeah, which ones? They won't look the part, though, is the thing. The other option is to remove this. Okay, you know what we could do? Let's try this. We could remove some of these, right? And so now they shouldn't be able to climb out over there. Let's make the same change over here. So again, this is where the reality of the zoo comes out, where it's like, no, these aren't actual historical structures. It's just, you know, like plastic reconstructions, obviously. Go ahead and do that. This thing's kind of all on its own in this corner now. And I guess we can connect these. Undo this. Let's see. Pick all you up. The inspector will be having a field day if they notice these escapes. Like, oh, well, okay. I have to make my quota of fines. Let's pull you over to here, and then let's go ahead and get another step out. Just temporary for now. Don't mind the wonkiness. Ugh, I mind the wonkiness. It's hard not to mind the wonkiness. That. Let's pull you back. There we go. Cool. Okay, so that's disconnected from this central area. Cool. But they're obviously still able to get here because there are other spots connecting to the central area. Let's see. They're still able to climb this? Are they still able to get close enough to climb it, I guess? Yikes. They're able to climb this one. That'll carry them over. Damn, I need to rethink this one. I mean, the other option, as I was going to say, is... well, one is that we limit the guests. The guests can't get any further than, like, this. And they can watch the tigers play around over here. The other option is the tigers are not allowed up. And this entire area becomes like a plaza with, like, food courts and stuff, vendors and whatnot. There are a couple of ways to slice this cake. To skin this big cat, as it were. Oh my god, that is such a cute face. like basking in the sun, eyes closed, just kind of a little warm. Just disappointed. It's like, excuse me, can you stop removing parts from my play space? Jeez. Okay. Folks, there's a little bit of problem solving to be done, and I think we're going to do it next time. I don't think I'll be able to solve this all today. I have to figure this out. I need to figure out how I want to execute this. I mean, if we, let's see, if we filter by property climbable, right? Even these that would kind of maybe work sort of are climbable, so that's a problem. God damn, I should have checked. I mean, do we just take these all the way up at this point? Like, okay, let's do one last check, right? If we just basically cage them in with our custom cages over here, will that solve the problem? I mean, it looks about the same as far as being a guest looking in. It doesn't look the same as far as quote-unquote authenticity, you know, so to speak. But if this blocks them off from the pillars, then it might block off their escapes, right? Because that's the problem here. That's the problem here. Like you, if I push you all the way in, we might be fine. But if I push you all the way in, I need to push this entire line all the way in, because otherwise it looks messy. Right? Yeah, I don't think it's jumping from here or anything like that. It's almost definitely just the climbing. And geez, this is just the adults. I can't wait until the babies come through and it turns out that these gaps are big enough for them to sneak through or something. It's only a moment's time, right, before we discover that as well. All right, let's unpause. Please tell me this fixes it, because I don't want to have to redo everything. I really like the type of interaction we have going on over here. No, that does not do the trick. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, it's this clipping, I think, that does it. They can kind of just like clip through and catch these pillars and then climb through, because these objects aren't actually here. Like, okay, if I were to, one final test, if I were to, let's say, move these over a bit, right? Just for the purpose of testing. It's on pause, see this refresh, hopefully the bottom is still blocked off. We do that, now all of a sudden they can't climb these. So that's the other solution, is to like push this stuff out a little bit, right? Push all this stuff out a little bit as well. I say a little bit, it's actually a fair bit. We'll have to like connect these. Push all you out too. I really want this to work. I try not to be stubborn about this kind of stuff, but I'm really happy with how this looks overall. I really want this to work. If we do that, they're not able to climb through these anymore. These will need some adjusting as well. We'll have to like push these back a bit more. Maybe to like there. So we get rid of this step. All right. Okay, this is like time-lapse material. This is not quick fixes. This is not quick fixes. But let's quickly check one thing though. On pause for a second here. I'd like to at least conclude with having come to a solution. Right, so now they can't climb this one anymore. They cannot climb these. Yeah, this is it. This is the solution to the problem. We just have to pull the fencing back a bit more. Should have seen it coming. But hey, it lets us know exactly what we have to start next session with. So, silver lining thinking, right, folks? This is where we're going to call it, though. A little unfortunate that it didn't end exactly how we would have maybe liked it to end. Oh, huh. Is that a commentary? Are you trying to say something, buddy? Are you trying to say something? Because I don't know if I appreciate that. I think it's a pretty nice enclosure. I'd like you to be a bit more appreciative. We do have to, again, a couple things is we have to take care of their hate for soil, which should be easy enough, right? Let's just kind of do this kind of a thing. And then trees. We need more trees, and they can climb trees. We have to be very careful of that. They're also very picky about the types of trees. Obviously, they don't want North American trees. They want good Asian trees. So we can ensure that happens. But again, that'll probably all be part of like beauty passes and stuff, because we have to be very careful again about the climbing as well. Oh, we have to be so careful about the climbing. Okay, you know what? We'll come back to that. Lots to do, folks. I hope you enjoyed this session. Maybe not the most satisfying of conclusions, because we're not getting exactly the response we wanted in terms of the enclosure. But I think despite the cage finish, it doesn't look too bad actually. I thought I was gonna hate it, but it's not terrible. And if you're a little kid, or even if you're an adult, you can kind of peek through properly, get a proper look at the animals going around. I think it works. But wow, wow, were we not in for a surprise there, folks? Again, like I was saying, if you enjoyed this session, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. It makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel. Again, like I say always, I read through all the comments to see your thoughts and how you feel. For example, it's been pointed out that this is horrendous to look at, so let's go ahead and clean that up right now before I forget. The red pandas, the camels needing their contraceptive stuff fixed. There's also been commentary about connecting Southeast Asia to our little temple area over here. We'll figure out how to do that exactly and how to make it nice and pretty. We'll do that eventually, not my top priority right now, especially since our little passage back over here seems to be working quite well. And honestly, look at that. Oh my god, look at that. Yes, we actually have people going to the Asia section now. This is great. People coming back over here, getting food. Oh, this makes me so happy. This makes me so happy. And hopefully we've got people coming through here as well. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, boy. All right. You know what, folks? Hardships at the end aside. Oh, this kid looks tired. This kid is not happy. All the hardships aside from the enclosure, this is definitely a high note to end the episode on. Now, okay, now for real. You enjoyed? Let me know, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time. As always, remember that I always want to give a massive thanks to all of my channel members and patrons who support this channel and keep us alive and running smoothly on a month-to-month basis. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.